Oh my goodness, here we are. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully everything's coming through A-OK, and if it's not, you can let me know. I have closed captions because I want to make sure that everyone can enjoy this at the same time. I want you all to be able to enjoy this. We are here for art, we are here for happiness, we're here to enjoy, like truly enjoy our time. Guess what? I have to tell you this because this is kind of exciting. I realize right now we just have a palette up here and a canvas, and I have a brush in my hand. But I just have to let you know that this is the first painting. This is my first painting of 2023. So this is going to be my first painting of 2023. We're going to do it together. You get to enjoy this experience with me. We have a new palette. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this. Look at this beautiful wooden palette. Look at this thing. It's huge. We have this new palette. We have some new canvas board. All right, and I have some new brushes. These were a gift, and I'm going to be using these gift brushes today because I can't not use them. They're here. They're beautiful, and I love them. All right, so I have the closed captions on for anyone who needs captions. They are available. So make sure if you need them, you're using them. If you don't need them, whatever is best for you. But I have the captions on, so hopefully you can hear. Well, hopefully you can see the captions. Hopefully, let me know. Let me know. And but so this is the first painting of 2023, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. I hope you are too. I hope you are too. And I hope that the captions are working wherever you're joining me. I hope the captions are working wherever you're joining me. We're going to go ahead and make a beautiful painting. And what are we going to paint? See, that in itself is a question, right? What do you paint for your first painting of 2023? I'm going to do a piece to capture something I've been doing lately. But before I get onto that, I just want to share something. So, depending on where you're joining me, there will be a link somewhere nearby. There's going to be a link so that you can actually go ahead and if you want to use the same supplies I do, if you want to be able to get one of these nice palettes or the canvas boards I use, they will be available. That's just something I want to make sure that if you want, you can get access to those things. You know. So yeah, so that's all going to be available. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm already excited. I'm already having just a great time and thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me right now. Thank you for joining me for our new artwork. Thank you for joining me for all this stuff I do. But there's going to be a link somewhere nearby, most likely in the chat, where if you want to go to my Amazon storefront and get things like this palette or get these canvas boards I use or even get the paints that I'm going to be using, you can do it. They're available. So just putting that out there. And I do truly hope that the captions are working. They should be. I set closed captions for on, so let me know, depending on where you're joining me, if the captions are on. But let's actually discuss a couple of things. I have to discuss a couple of things with you as we prep to begin this paintwork. We prep to do this. So, as we enter 2023, this is the first Saturday, or at least, yeah, so this is the first Saturday of 2023. So it's the first Your Saturday Night of 2023, and I'm excited. I'm excited. For those of you who've been with us a while, you know that I do my workshops, that I normally come and join you on Saturday nights. We do painting and stuff like that. But more than that, I, I've been growing, I've been developing not only as an artist, but I've been really enjoying my ability to share what I do with all of you. So I hope that you just stick with me for everything that's going to come, all of the new things that we're going to do, all of the new experiences we're going to have. We are going to have new experiences. Now, let me go ahead. I'm going to pull this out. So we're going to get the palette out of the way. I'm excited to use this. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, I'm excited. Look at that. That's just so fun. That's just so fun. Oh, I already like this. Like, so I can just hold this nice big palette, and this will be a lot easier to set down and to use. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. So we're gonna get painting. All right. And I'm gonna start well with one of these brushes. One of these brushes. I have new brushes, and I have to use them because you can't have new brushes and not use them. It's kind of like you can't have a new palette and not use it. You have to use the new brushes. You have to use the new palette. You have to use the new paints because it's not just exciting, but it's like, oh, I need to get into this. I need to really feel what it's like to use these things, to use these new tools that are at my disposal. So what I'm going to be doing, oh, and of course, so I'm going to be using these Shuttle Art acrylics. These are from their vintage collection. So we're going to be using these vintage Shuttle Art acrylics. And if you go to my Amazon storefront, I have added them there if you want to get them, along with things like this wooden palette has been up there a while, but if you want it, you can get it. It's just beautiful. I love it. These brushes are not on there, but I mean, I'm so happy about these brushes. I'm just excited. These brushes aren't there. I do have brushes there, though, so that's something that you can get. So I'm just going to get right into it, and we're going to actually start painting. I just decided I'm going to start actually with this brush. Let's see. Normally I would tell you the sizes of these brushes. These ones are not marked, at least not marked in a way that I can see, but you can see that that's a flat brush, and it's about this. It's about the size of my fingertip, so it's not huge. It's just a beautiful brush. We're going to use it. Oh my goodness. And even though I have these nice new paints, apparently some of them have seals and some do not. So that's just fun. That was surprising. I just realized, like, the very first paint I'm going to use has a sealed cap. I had already popped open a couple of others. They didn't have sealed caps. So what's up with that? What is up with that? We're going to find out as we go along. But I'm going to hold on to the sealed caps because I don't want to lose those. Those are just valuable. They're valuable. We want to keep our sealed caps. We want to keep our sealed caps. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be working on a piece here, and we're going to have some fun with it. I always like to have fun with my paintings. Ooh. We're going to find out. Oh, these are vintage. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I love the way they come out. They don't come out, like, ready to immediately use, so I'm going to have to make sure that, like, oh, yeah, they delaminate. Oh, I love it. I love it already. I love these paints. I love what I'm working with. Ooh. I'm kind of already really liking the way it feels. Oh, you're gonna get to see this in a moment. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make sure that this is not too clumpy. And I'm going to actually start working in some paint here. I have a plan, kind of, for what I'm going to be doing. We're going to see how these paints work, how they flow. And like I said, I kind of have a plan here. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to paint. But I'm actually starting with what they call flesh tint. I'm not using it for flesh. I'm actually using it for an underlayer for hair. And I want to make lots of hair, lots of hair. So this is actually going to be kind of a base coat, as it were, for what's going to be my hair color. And we're just going to start to get this coming out all over the place. But I need to get something down here already, right? I need to get something down. I need to get it out there, and I need to start working. You're not here just to hear me talk. You're here for the paint, aren't you? You're here for the paint and the fun. Oh, I'm here for the paint and the fun. So what I'm actually doing right now, so I did a few like guideline concepts on here of some stuff that I want to do. And I'm actually planning on kind of painting a person with very abstract, very interpretive style. I actually like that more that way. We might cover up some of this. We might not cover up other bits. We're going to find out how this looks as we go. Because I want it to be flowing. I want it to be alive. But I'm doing this first, this specific color, because I want a specific kind of look. And I want it to seem flowing and light. And we're going to put darks over top of it afterwards. So the darks are coming afterwards. All their dark colors are going to come after. And I right now I'm just going to get this on here because I want a lot of like this long flowing hair. An unreasonably large amount of hair. And then, actually after I get just a few more, there we go. I'm just going to get a bunch of it on here. And we're going to work with it as we go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work with it as we go. Because I think that is phenomenal. But I'm going to start just building out what might be the impressions of some sort of silhouette. And I just sketched a couple guidelines on here to begin with. The great thing about guidelines is you don't have to stay with them at all. Like, at all. Now that I've done that, actually, I want some of this up here, too. Because I'm going to use this as kind of like a foundational concept for the light. I know it doesn't look even remotely like how sky should look. And I don't care. Because we're not here for it to look like how sky looks. We're here to begin work. I love the way these move. This is great. This is great. This is absolutely great. I didn't do this to begin with, so I'm going to do it right now. We are in my library space, my studio space, which is also, where I do a lot of these streams from. I do my workshops from here. We do a lot of work in this room. I write in this room. We just do so much out here. Alright, so now I'm starting to get like this kind of golden hue. It's really nice. I'm already liking the way that this, it's labeled vintage. That's the way it's labeled. I'm liking the way it moves. I'm liking the way it reacts. I like it. I like it. Now, there are places where we get a little bit of clumping. And you know what? For an abstract artist like myself, that's just fine. That's just fine. We should have some clumping. We should have some stickiness, some unique quality to the movement. So if that wasn't there, I'd be like, hey, Where's my clumpiness? Where's my stickiness? All right. So now that I have that on, I have my initial layers, or at least I have an initial layer. So I've started to build up what's going to be the under of the hair, and then some light in the sky. Like, this just looks really nice. It looks really good. Looks really nice. I have all these brushes to use. I'm going to choose them as I go based off feeling. And you know what? I don't think you should choose your paints or brushes necessarily any other way. We should be going off things like feeling. We should be going off things like, how does this feel? How does this look? Does this make me happy? Does this make me happy? All right, so I'm going to come in with cobalt blue after this. So there's my cobalt blue. Also, that Shuttle Art acrylic. It's a vintage color. So you can see that, vintage color. Shake, 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 shake. You know, there's a lot of ways to paint. Like, that is undeniable. There are a lot of ways to paint. There are a lot of ways to do what you intend to. But, you know, sometimes you don't want just all the ways. Sometimes you don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to paint this way, I'm going to paint that way. Sometimes the ways that we're taught to paint are not the ways we should paint. Let me say that again. Sometimes the way we're taught to paint is not the way we should paint. All right, I'm going to use this. Now, this is definitely more than a 1-inch brush. It's more than a 1-inch flat brush. I don't know what size that is. Maybe it's a 15. It might be a 15. Yeah, that looks maybe like a size 15 brush. But we're going to use that. And I have this cobalt blue. Oh, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. That's my cobalt blue. I love it. Okay, so we're going to get this cobalt blue. And I'm actually going to start working it up here. And I'm just going to use these nice horizontal strokes. I love the way this flows. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you right now, these paints flow so nice. Look at how that goes. Look at how that goes. I can't praise this enough right now. Oh my goodness. So we already have some of that, they call it flesh tint, but let's be fair. That is not someone's skin color. But I like the way it's starting to lay over it. I also like the fact that it has kind of a fast dry to it. You know, it's like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Oh, this is nice. Let me talk about some important things really quick as I do this. So one of the things that's important, make sure that you're using your wrist as little as possible when you're doing painting like this. Make sure that you're trying to use your whole arm. All right? If you use your whole arm, what you're going to encounter is a much cleaner, much nicer painting experience. All right? Much cleaner, much nicer. And also a more physically enjoyable painting experience. You do not need to hurt yourself for art. Do not. I mean, I'm someone who's physically exhausted myself doing giant wooden paintings, wooden panel paintings, but at the same time, like, I want to reemphasize that at no point in time are you required to physically exhaust yourself to paint. And I think this is an important life lesson for all of us. I'm just kind of enjoying right now. Oh, I love the way these lay on. Now, I don't think that these vintage paints would be well suited to wet mixing. First impression, but that's fine because that's not what we're doing right now. I like the way they lay down. I like the opacity. Oh my goodness, I love the opacity. Look at that. You can see my brush strokes. I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. Like, oh, seeing the brush strokes, seeing what I'm doing. And I'm going to go over, okay, now. So this is actually where we get into the fun parts of technique and style. All right? So let's talk technique and style. When it comes to painting technique and painting style, make sure that what you're doing is good for you, all right? And I am going to be covering up some of what I just did, like when I was making those silhouette concepts for the hair. Don't worry about it. We need to be able to see through portions of the hair and see the background, all right? So do not worry about trying to match someone else's technique. I'm going to say that as many times as I can over my career as an artist. There is this huge thing where oftentimes it seems like we're encouraged to try to do exactly what someone else is doing. Stop that. Don't do exactly what someone else is doing. Okay, let me actually reframe that because I don't want that to sound harsh. And it did. It sounded harsh. But don't think that you have to do what someone else is doing. Do not think that you have to do what someone else is doing. All right, what I'm actually going to be doing from here is I'm going to be getting some phthalo blue. This is a word I've never known how to pronounce, but I loved the color from the first time I saw it. All right. So this is phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. There's a PHT. That's how that starts. And I've always said it phthalo blue or phthalo blue. And I don't know which is correct. But see this really dark blue? We're going to be using this. This is, again, Shuttle Art Acrylic Paint. Vintage Colors Phthalo Blue. We're going to be using some of this. I know I just got all that cobalt blue on there. This is a much darker blue. And I'm going to start to lay some of that on there. So with the sky, I'm kind of going in an interesting way. I'm not even going to use a different brush. I'm going to use the same brush. And I'm also going to show you what this phthalo blue looks like. So I want you to be able to appreciate it in the same way that I do. I'm using this wonderful wooden palette that I love. Okay, so here's the phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. That's that phthalo blue. All right. And that's what we're going to use. And I'm going to start doing this. I'm just going to work it down on some of the bottom of this beautiful canvas. And I'm not being clean. I'm not like, oh goodness, I have to make sure everything's clean. No, I'm brushing on paint. I'm enjoying myself. Enjoy yourself when you make art. Enjoy yourself when you make art. I think that's actually probably a really important lesson too. Just enjoy yourself. Right now, my goal isn't to make the cleanest, most beautiful, most amazing painting of my life. You know what my goal is? To start my first painting of the year enjoying myself, which is what I try to do when I work. I try to enjoy myself. Oh my goodness. Shouldn't we enjoy ourselves? Shouldn't we enjoy ourselves as much as possible? Shouldn't we, like, dive in head first sometimes and just enjoy ourselves? So that's what I want to give to all of you, a little bit of enjoyment. I'm going to go really dark on this bottom. Really dark bottom. as we start to build upward to create this beautiful work of art. Oh, and if you've been watching these a while, you know I really like blue. Like blue, that's some top tier coloration for me. I like working in blues and yellows. I really like working in blues and yellows. All right, so now we have all that on there. It's looking really nice, isn't it? It's looking really nice. So I'm not even going to change my brush. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some white. No brush change. Nope, we're not doing that. We're going to just go ahead. And I'm going to then mix some white, some nice white. And this is, again, a Shuttle Art acrylic vintage color white. So that's this. I'm going to mix that into some of this phthalo blue. It's just going to give a really fun tone. I'm going to use the same brush that I've been using for all my blues. But I need 2 whites on my palette. I need the white that I'm going to use for this. And then I need another white over here. There we go. And again, you know what? If you want to paint in a different way to what I'm painting right now, you should. You should do that. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mix some phthalo blue and white. And let me get that mixed up here. Oh, I'm going to show you the way that looks in a second. All right. So this is going to give us kind of a sea white. Yeah, this is like a seawater, not white, blue, a seawater blue. So there you can go. There you can see that seawater blue kind of. Like you'd expect to see that. Like a late evening on an ocean front. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to start to layer that in. And again, you notice I'm not even concerning myself if I'm covering what I already had. Because I'm starting to create a mood. And I want you to be able to create a mood. Oh, there was some white not mixed in properly. So create a mood with your paints. I'm actually going to let that ride, and there's some white that's not mixed in right, and I'm just going to let it ride. And use that to make something new. You know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to grab some of this white. And I'm just going to brush some of that white up here with some of the blue. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, I like the way that looked. So let's do some more of that really quick up here. Ooh, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I hope you're liking it. We're getting something just interesting and fun. And if you're going to do painting, yeah, I'm going to make that thick right there. You know what? Because I can. And yeah, I'm just covering up a little bit of what was already there. But I also don't care. Because we do not have to worry about making a mistake when you create art. Art is art. Mistakes happen. And there is no mistakes in creativity. There's happy accidents. Oh yeah, I like how this covers. This is so nice. All right. Get a little bit more of that. I like this tone. I like what I'm getting. Let me grab just a little bit more white because I just want to get some of that on there. And then just switch up my brush styles. Oh, love it. Okay, now I'm going to get some of this nice dark phthalo blue. I'm going to mix some of that right there. Again, don't worry if I'm covering up what I already did, right? We don't worry about that. That's not why we're here. That's not why we're here. We're not here to worry. We're here to make art. And then just mixing. I'm going to get some white, some phthalo blue. I'm going to get both of those on here in two different streaks, and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that over here. And then, oh, okay, there we go. Oh, I'm liking how that's coming out. Oh, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so now that I've done all of that, and I'm getting like what could be the shape of my piece building, it's time to jump to the next idea. Oh, I'm so glad to be with everyone. Again, depending on where you're joining me, there will be a link somewhere nearby where you can go ahead and you can get the art supplies I use. So that really depends where you're joining me. But we're here to paint and to enjoy ourselves. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint and I'm going to enjoy myself. Oh, just so many things to do here. So now that I have something building, something starting, I need to come up with some other ideas. And I have just tons of ideas already. Tons of ideas. So this, I'm going to show it to you really quick. This is ash black. Ash black. See that? Wonderful, beautiful, ash black. So this is, again, from Shuttle Art Acrylic Vintage Color. The vintage... Oh my goodness. This is from Shuttle Art, their acrylic paint line, their vintage colors line. Oh, I love it. I love it. So we're going to get some black. Now, I already have black. I have white. I have a couple things I need to do with this black. And let's just go ahead. We're going to get some of this ash black on. And we're going to start doing some of those things. We're going to start working with the ash black. Now, there's a few ways we can go about using it. And there's a few different styles of painting that I could approach here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow instinct. Now I'm going to use this really small flat brush here. This is really small. We're going to start to see how this ash black looks, because I have some shapes that I want to do. So let's start to see how that looks right there. And I'm just going to start blocking in some things that I intend to have on here. Okay. This is going to look really thick for a minute, but it's going to get thinner as we go. But we're going to have to start thick. We're going to have to start thick, and we're going to have to start exactly as we are right now. Oh, I really like this. Yeah, I really like this. Look at that. Oh, I'm already just having fun. All right. We're going to just go ahead. I'm going to get a little sporadic here for a moment. A little sporadic. But we're going to have to do this in several layers. All right? Because sometimes that's how you have to do your art. Layer after layer. And I'm going to go... Like, I had one idea, but now we're just changing it. We're just changing it because we can. because not only can we just change whenever we want, because it's our art, we can explore it in every way we want. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get this in. And again, we're just getting stuff. We're just making stuff happen. Making it happen. Just gonna keep making it happen. And maybe our proportions won't be exactly right, and maybe not everything is gonna look how people would like it to look. And maybe we're going to end up being, I don't know, in a very abstract zone. But if that's where we end up, that's where we end up. If we end up somewhere else, we end up somewhere else. And I'm not going to deny myself the chance to explore. So I'm going to use a really little brush now. It's really little. Really little. Make sure I don't have too much black on there. And we're just creating like kind of a profile view. I actually really like the way that looks already. Like, that was a happy accident. That's a bit thick, but we have plenty of time to work with it. Plenty of time to work with it. There we go. Bear in mind, we're like still really early stage here. So there's a lot that's going to happen. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm just going to blah, 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 blah. All right. So again, we're really early stage. We're just having fun. And I hope you're having fun with me. Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Look how far we've already come. I have a bunch of things that have happened here. And I'm going to take another small brush. I'm going to get some of my white all by its lonesome. Okay. I'm going to start to put some things in here. I'm just starting to build things. This is less for detail and more to start building a guiding presence. A guiding presence. We're getting some of these shapes in. And when it comes to art, that's actually a really important thing, is getting kind of like your guiding ideas built up. Like, we can do so much with this. And you can see I'm not like putting a lot of white in. I'm just starting to build something. I'm just building. That's all I'm doing. Since I've done that, I'm actually going to go ahead. Again, this is not permanent. This is actually just, again, something we're doing. Because I have a profile I really like. But I want to put some darkness in there. Darkness, darkness. And then lightness, lightness. Lightness and darkness. Now I'm committing a bit of a paintbrush sin. But you know why? Because we have a plan. I mean, we have most of a plan. Most of a plan. You know, I see people get into art for lots of reasons. I see people approach art in lots of ways. And I see people do things that other people don't call art. And I want to tell everyone that might be watching right now, nothing you do has to be considered art by anyone other than you. Nothing you do has to be considered art by anyone other than you. All right. Now that I've done all of that, and again, like, this is all really rough. Like, nothing here is set in stone, but we have something wonderful to build off of, don't we? Like, we just have something beautiful that we can build up into something more. And that's what I'm here for. The what is coming next, the what will we do, the what are we creating. Oh, goodness. And, you know, truthfully, like, what are we creating? What are we making here? I don't know. But I find it beautiful. I find it absolutely beautiful. Because we could make a million things, and we could end up in a million places. So I'm going to jump over, and we're going to be using some yellow ochre. And I'm going to just say thank you for being here for the first live stream and the first painting of 2023. Wow. Okay, so this is yellow ochre. Still Shuttle Arts vintage colors. Yellow ochre. Gonna try to show that off as best as I can. So that's yellow ochre. It's I don't know, it's difficult for me to describe exactly what that looks like right now. But I'm going to take that yellow ochre, and I'm going to come in here with this angle brush, and I'm going to actually start building more of what's going to be our hair. Which I realize is like very thick, very overflowing. And if you like these paint live streams, make sure you are following, whether it's here, wherever here is for you, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube. No matter where you are right now, make sure you're following to get all of this goodness. Make sure that you're following so that you don't miss anything. So you can see, like, I'm grabbing a bunch of different wet paints here and they're mixing in. which is actually getting us a really, really interesting visual aesthetic. And again, I want like this hair to be way too much. I think that's the only way I can describe it. Is I want it to just be like too much. Like, why? Why did you go so hard on all that hair? But why not? Why shouldn't I go hard on all this hair? Like, why shouldn't I do everything to the utmost extent that I can? We're just getting something interesting, something beautiful, something different. Now, we're going to take 2 seconds. I'm going to let some of this set because I don't want to lose too much. I already realized as I come in here and I do more, a lot is going to happen. Like, so much is going to happen. And I kind of got this idea that I might actually put like a little scarf here. So there's a little scarf just kind of tied there and then trail it off. So it'll come out from behind the hair here. And then it'll just trail off this way and cover up some of our hair. I also have a metallic gold, which I kind of want to use in this. This metallic gold. Oh my goodness. I want to use that. I want to use it. But we're going to let this sit for a moment. I want to just, I guess, enjoy a moment with all of you. We are obviously here in 2023. And I'm really glad how far we've come. How much is happening? How much is here already? I don't know how to. I don't know how to describe my gratitude. And also, is my color getting really washed out? I think my color is getting really washed out. But you know what? It's fine. So it's fine. It's fine. We're here. And I'm grateful to all of you. I'm not just grateful to all of you, I'm grateful to be able to share creativity with you. And you've already done so much. So, as some of this settles, I'm actually thinking I'm going to put more white up top. So, we're going to add some more white up top. That's something I'm going to do here. I want to add more color. These vintage colors are gorgeous, but I'm noticing something interesting about them. Is they actually dry much darker, or they appear to dry much darker than they started out. So we're gonna work with that, and I'm gonna add some white a few key places. So the first place that I'm gonna ask to add some white, gonna get some of this white here, is right here actually. I've just made a decision. Some white's going right there. And then Some white's going to go right there. We're going to start to add shape and some contour. And I'm not going to do too much white, and we're always able to change things if we don't like it, so we're fine. But we're just going to add some of that right there. All right. We're going to start to build up some shapes. Going to start to create some things here, and actually I'm going to add some white up here. Because I feel like we're losing some of our shaping, losing some of it. Don't worry, we can always fix what just happened there. Then I'm gonna get some white up here. I know, I just want more white. I feel like we're getting so dark. And though dark is wonderful, actually, let's do that. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Alright, and while we're at it, let's start to put some boundaries here. Because there's actually, I'm just going to grab some of this black. Because I've just decided some things here, right? Alright. Yep, we're making decisions. We're making decisions and we're making things happen. Because that's what you gotta do. You gotta make decisions. Oh my goodness, why is this so dark? We might have a lot to do here, or maybe it's just the lighting in the room right now. I think that's what it is. It's the lighting in the room. Let me take a look. See if I can do anything about that. I'm going to see if we can adjust this ever so slightly. Or not. Oh yeah, we're not doing that at all. That was awful. Yep, we're not doing that. At least not in that way. But yeah, I'm going to admit the lighting is not great in here. And we will fix that in the future. You know, we had good lighting to start with, and now it's just all fading out. What are you going to do? Alright. Now I just want to go ahead and find my preferred next color. My preferred next color. So I have all of these colors to choose from, and I love them all so much. But it's like, oh no, which color do I use? Which color do I use? Which is the right one? Oh my goodness, how do I even choose? How do I decide? Alright. And I think I've made a choice. And I'm going to show it to you in just a second here after I pop this out. We're going to need to do a little shake up. A little shake up. All right. So this is Light Apricot. Again, Shuttle Art Acrylic Paint Vintage Colors. Light Apricot. So let's go ahead. We're going to use this. Oh, shake it up. And I'm going to just... I'm going to brighten a couple parts of this. Or at least try. You know what? No try. Do. Do. We're getting this flat brush again. Here's this wonderful flat brush. Hey, Silver Fox. Glad you can join us. Our favorite mod. So we're going to take some of this light apricot. Again, this is from the Shuttle Art Vintage Collection. And let's just get some of that in here. We have so much to do still, but I just want to brighten up this sky. I don't know. Oh yeah, so you have to see at least a little bit of the art, right? Because this is our start to 2023. This is the first official painting of 2023. And that in itself is just exciting to me. I hope it's exciting to you. Okay, I'm grabbing some white here. I love the way these vintage paints move. I love the way these vintage paints lay down, and I love how they dry. Like, they dry so nice. Let's just go ahead. I'm going to cut in a little bit on that, but we're going to cover it up. So some of this is going to have to be cut in, but I need some of this lighting done. There we go. All right. So that's on there. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to grab some of my yellow ochre right off my palette here, and I need to immediately try to cover up some of that. And we need to continue working the hair because I just want to keep it moving. I want to keep things happening. All right, I'm going to get a little more of this white, actually. We're going to just do that. Oh, my goodness. I love the way these move. Oh, I can't say it enough. And, yeah, so I guess our first piece... And then let's get some of this phthalo blue, because I want some more of this in here. I got too much white on that side. And that's actually going to cut in there. All right. So that's some of the phthalo blue. But, oh, my goodness, the way these paints move. The way these paints move. Now, there are... Like, obviously, like, I have commentary. I have thoughts. But I'm still going to recommend these very highly, and that's why they've been added to the storefront on Amazon, because I really enjoy the way they work. Like, I really enjoy it. And now, actually, I gotta come in here. Do some of that right there. We're gonna fill this in because our character here has like this really long, like obscenely long hair, and I just need to really highlight that as best as I can. So this is going to end up a multi-part painting, I'm pretty certain. Oh yeah, like this, okay, I have to, hold on, let me take 2 seconds. I want to say a couple things. I have to say a couple things. So number one, if you can see like kind of how this is laid out, I realize for some reason like my lighting, I should have taken more time to set up the lighting today, but if you can kind of see like the way, like look at how that goes. And I have semi-wet paint underneath and I'm not pulling it all up. Like, I'm just getting a little bit of it. So, like, I'm able to make this really cool character right now and sketch. So I can sketch as I go. And that's what I'm doing. I am sketching as I go. And I mean, there's stuff I'm going to have to do just to fill this out. But oh my goodness, look at how much you really can do with this. All right, so I'm going to get some of this apricot, actually. I just want a little bit of the white. They mix really well, too. Okay, so we're going to get some of the apricot and white. All right, and then I come in here. So that's going right there. To what would be that. Right. And, you know, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to take a while to really get the way I want it to be. But holy pants and pigtails, we have some really nice quality paint here. We have stuff that works the way like I want it to with the piece I'm doing. And oh, whew, oh my goodness. Like I'm pleased as punch. Pleased as punch. All right. So we're going to get some of this ash black, which I really like again. Not just the way it looks, but the way it lays down. And you can be like really intentional with this, but there's something I need to do because I still am like this actually needs to be a more flowing bottom garment. So look at how quickly I can do that. Oh. So we're getting this nice flowing bottom garment. And I realize like this painting right now, very dark, but it layers so well. I can layer the lights on top of the darks so well. Like, so well. Oh. Alright, we're going to actually try to create the visual style of what's called a bazaband right there. So there's like kind of a sticky protrudy area at the elbow. I just want some of that visual style. You see it in a lot of like fantasy art and then in a lot of fantasy media. And I just want that bazaband style there. We have so much to do still here. Alright, and now, again, I really want to hammer home a very certain style and silhouette, but we want a really nice breastplate the way they should be. So that's what I'm doing right there. And then I actually want to make this pauldron a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger. We're going for slightly we're going for exaggerated. We're going for a very particular style of exaggeration also. So we're getting kind of that nice fantasy aesthetic. And that's like one of the big things that we're able to do here is we can get this really nice fantasy aesthetic. We're getting really good mixing. We're getting really good dry time and laying as far as how it lays down, all of that. I have some ideas here that we're going to get into. Let me mix this up a little bit again. We have like this. This is actually a really good fantasy piece, I think. It's a really good fantasy piece. Now, okay, I'm going to be fair. Like, this is the only one of these paints so far I'm not digging. I'm not digging this one. And this is what they call flesh tint. I don't necessarily like the way its consistency is, but I do like the coloration. So this, but what I think is great for this is I can create light zoning with this, and so this is really good. I like it, but at the same time, I don't like the consistency of it. But I'm going to get some more of that because I like the way that I can use it to add light zoning to my hair. Just going to use a round brush here. Because I can get this light zoning in the hair, like it brightens up immediately. So we just got some nice bright zones there. I like the way they look. I like the way they feel. They're good. So good. Alright, now I'm going to get some of my white, and I'm going to get another brown brush, because I really want to stick to this nice fantasy aesthetic, and this is already dry right here. Like, that's already dry. So yeah, I'm just able to stick to this really nice fantasy aesthetic, and I'm really able to hone in on my pigments and just like go to town on this. But I am sticking to that. I'm going to put a big scarf on this character because I want like a really dramatic, like blowing scarf. So let's pick a color for that. Oh, we have so many colors, but I want it to stick out. I really want it to stick out because we have kind of this grayish white on the flowing lower portion of the garment. We have, like, our armor is still drying. It's very black. I'm going to use metallic gold on that at some point. But we also have this really yellowish, very, very interesting hair color. And we have this wonderful sky and everything. I wish I could convince... Hold on. I need to convince the camera to properly process the light in the room, which it is not doing. But you know what? It is what it is. We're going to improve this later because everything looks really dark right now. We're going to improve it later. But we're getting a beautiful fantasy character. I have like the early shapings of a sword. I have this kind of flowing lower skirt kind of portion. I have this wonderful oversized pauldron and this nice contoured breastplate, so we're getting that aspect. This very abstracted sky. We have all these different aspects. But I think this character would benefit if I turned this into like a big scarf. So we're going to put like some color here. And I'm going to have one part of it like flowing out of the back here. And then I'm going to have another part kind of flowing over through the hair. No, actually, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see how it looks. Because I just want to have that flowy scarf. I think that's going to really bring home some of the fantasy element of this. But do I want the scarf now or later? I want it now. I want it already in there because we can fix it after the fact. So, I mean, I could go orange. Orange is a good choice. Maybe a nice green. Maybe a nice green scarf. I have a few different greens. Oh. Like I have this forest green. But I need something that sticks out, don't I? So I think... Alright, we have this. This is cadmium orange. I think this cadmium orange would look awesome. So this cadmium orange would make an awesome scarf. I can see this as being part of this piece. But then again, it's too close to the hair, maybe. No, 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 not that. I'm just having one of those moments, like, what is the right color for this? What is the right color for our character's beautiful scarf? I could go back to this. I have this amethyst. Ooh, yeah, we're going to give an amethyst scarf. I think that'll look nice. Yes, we're going to use amethyst. Yeah. We're going to use this amethyst, and I think that's going to look awesome as a beautiful scarf. If you're interested in the wooden palette that I'm using, beautiful wooden palette right here, wooden palette, or some of the paints, or any of the brushes, things like that that I use. It's all available on my storefront. Yeah, the amethyst is going to look so good. It's all available on my storefront on Amazon. Oh, I love this color. Okay, I'm going to get to show you this just one second. And I'm going to use this flat brush to do the job. Flat brush to do the job. Okay, so that's that amethyst. So I'm just going to show that to you. I'm really enjoying the way these look. I'm enjoying the way they interact. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm going to start to cut that in there. Because our fantasy character has this scarf on. Because I think it'll just be fun. It adds to that fantasy aesthetic of just an interesting character. And also, you know, it's still winter here in the land of the ice and snow, even if we're missing a lot of our ice and snow. But start to put this in. I think I'm going to need a few layers of it to really... But yeah, so, I mean, why shouldn't my fantasy character have just like this beautiful amethyst colored scarf? We're going to make it nice and thick. Nice and thick. You know, keep our character warm. And there's kind of like a stormy sky going on, so I mean they definitely need the warmth. They need it. So let's actually I'm going to presume that the end of that scarf is coming out here. And I'm going to end up covering this up more with the hair color and everything, because I want it to be properly cut in. I want it to look like the scarf is part of the environment, being affected by the weather, being affected by kind of this like storm-blown air. But oh goodness, these lay down so nice. These lay down so absolutely wonderfully nice. So yeah, so here's like the one end of that scarf, and I'm going to make it real thick. Real thick. There we go. And then let's cut the end in really sharp, because that's a necessity. Alright, so there's one end of the scarf. We have the scarf up here. We have the scarf kind of blowing off the back, probably from wherever it's folded. I don't know, like, where would that scarf hang down on the front? That is a really good question. Very good question. Where does that scarf hang down on the front? And you know what? We don't necessarily have to answer that question right now. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to get some more of this amethyst right here. Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm going to have to paint some shadow into this later, because right now everything's like semi-flat. But in that semi-flatness, we're starting to develop a wonderful character. Oh my goodness, I love this amethyst. It's just really nice looking. I can't state enough how much I like this color. Ugh. All right. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Instead of worrying about what color I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of this white and I'm going to mix it with the amethyst. And we're going to make kind of a lighter tone. And then I'm just going to... Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. And then I'm just going to take some of that and just going to lay some on the top side. Maybe a little more white. This thing is real thick. Yeah. Alright, and then just blend that in a little bit. Alright. So here we are so far. Our nice fantasy character beginning to be built. Our first painting started in 2023 with our new paints, with our beautiful new palette, using these new brushes, really getting into it, really exploring it. We're going to fix the camera as... See, like, the color starts to pop as soon as I get my hand in there. I get it out, and then it's like, I don't know what I'm focusing on. Washed out. That simply won't do. We're going to make sure that gets fixed. But before I even think about being done, we're going to grab this little brush here, and I'm going to grab some of my yellow ochre, and I'm going to get some more of this hair darkened in here. Get some more of that hair darkened in, because we need wonderful multi-tonal, multi-textural, like, everything has to have shadow. Everything has to have shadow and light, and we just have to be able to enjoy it and really explore it. Like, oh, see, already that looks... I'm liking the way that change has been made already. Get some of that over here. Get some of that right here. Get some of that in here. And while I'm doing it, I gotta really make sure that the Bazaband shape is solid. Wow. I don't know. I'm liking this. I hope you're liking it. I hope that you're having a great time. I hope that you had a wonderful new year. And I hope that 2023 started off phenomenally for you. And I hope that every part of your year is already enjoyable. Now, this is going to be a multi-stage, multi-video painting. So that's just what it is. That's just the way it is. And we're going to get to enjoy a lot of it. Oh, yeah. Look at how nice that lays out. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to grab some of the apricot. Alright, there we go. Look at all this. This character's hair is looking pretty fire. I think that's the right way to use that term. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of white, and I'm going to get that down here. The white, fun fact, mixes better than any other paint in this set. So that's a thing, and we're going to remember that. I mean, you're going to have certain things, regardless, that are always going to work different than the rest of a group of things. And when it comes to this white actually has the best mixing of all of these paints. Yeah. So what's going to end up happening here is we're going to take multiple sessions to really work out this character, to really make this character feel complete and with its own identity. But we already have our scarf, we have the starts of our armor, we have this skirt, we have a very abstracted sky, we have what's going to eventually be the sword handle. You know, we just have the starts of that all there with the cross guard, and then this wonderful big pommel here, and what's going to be the sheath, and that's on that side, and a hand kind of, one hand is behind the back, the other hand is gripping the handle of that sword. We're going to take a lot of work to make this really nice. We have this wonderful big scarf, which the scarf up here is not drying quite the way I would like, but that's fine. And then we have the face. We already have this eyebrow here and the closed eye, and we have the profile shape of it. There's a lot going on. The proportions. Ooh, yeah, hold on. So the proportions are very much what you'd call heroic. You know, this is non-realistic. It's very interpretive. And some of it's kind of cartoony. I don't know. I think that might be the best way to describe that, is cartoony. But it gives us a really fun place to work from. A really fun place to work from. So I hope that you've enjoyed what is our first painting stream of 2023. I hope that you had a wonderful new year. We're going to revisit this character on another stream, and then get more of them painted. And I kind of have like what looks like so you can see like what looks like hair here and then here. So I think the part for the hair is right here. It's kind of like their hair is getting tousled, and since it's everywhere, and we have all these different motions and the scarf blowing, like this is like a very windy day. A very windy day. That's what I'm interpreting it as, a very windy day. But here we go. So I would like to thank you for being with me here today. Thank you for joining me for this. We're going to name this character, I think. Because I'm sure if you haven't seen them yet, you will see them eventually. I've been doing a lot more paintings which are more impressionistic, which feature characters within them. We're doing more character paintings with both an impressionistic and an abstract style to them, and very bold and sometimes monochromatic scheming. It's not monochromatic, actually. It's just usually like trichromatic, I think, is the term I'm looking for. But within that, we're exploring a lot, and I've been doing a lot of pieces where we have characters either with obscured faces or profile images or otherwise, and oftentimes very dramatic hair and very dramatic scenery. And I'm going to keep that up. Now, in my workshops, I'm still going to be doing the abstract, like very abstract work with line and shape and color and all of that. But I think I'm going to keep up with this kind of painting on my streams. And, it's... So let me know if you like it, how you feel about it, and if you're enjoying this new exploration. And thank you so much for being here. I'm going to actually be signing off already. because I think we've made a lot of progress. So I wish you well. Take care. Be excellent. And that's one Saturday down in the year. Uh, 51 more to go. Oh, I love that idea. That's wonderful. All right, take care. I'll see you all again, and you're all the best. All right. I'll see you next Saturday. Unless you want to see more painting streams, in which case, you better let me know.